everyone, and welcome to Table Toppin' Tits for our very first board game edition. And I'm going to teach you DC Comics The Deck Building Game. In order to teach you this game, I have enlisted very important racks, and that is going to be Miss Moon.
Hello.
And Miss Kamei.
How you doing, everybody?
There you go. So, DC Comics is a deck building game. It's kind of has the same relation to Pokemon and the whole, hand, stack pile, and a discard pile. So, I already pre-set up the game. I've already set them out for you. The deal is there's kicks, which go on their own separate pile, which are going to be right here. And then there's weaknesses, which are going to be right here. Weaknesses have the grungy teeth. And then there's going to be supervillains. I know you don't know what any of this means, but we're going to start off by doing this. Supervillains, you have to pick 7 of them face down. This is face down, this is face up. Pick 7 of them blindly and put them face down, and then you have to find this magic card called Ra-Ghul. Find him and put him on top face up. All of the rest of the cards that are in the thick part of the box, you put in one happy stack right here. It's a gigantic stack. Here we go. So our gigantic stack is going to be right here. Gigantic stack. Ha ha ha. So you also have cards that are called punches and vulnerabilities. So every person that's playing, which is all 3 of us, Turtle's going to sit this one out because it's way too much space involved. So you're going to give everybody 7 punches, which look like Batman. Punch, 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 punch. Batman. See, everyone has 7 Batmans and 3 Superman vulnerabilities. Together, that makes 10. So everyone should have 10 cards. So now everyone has 10 cards. Do you have 10 cards?
I got 10 cards.
Do you have 10 cards?
Oh, yeah.
So these are kicks, these are weaknesses, these are supervillains, and that's the main deck. All right. Now the next thing that everyone has to get is a superhero. All right. So superheroes are also included in the box. You pick them out and you put them all nicely like this, and then everyone gets to draw their own. She's gonna draw one. Who did you get?
Ooh, I have Cyborg.
Cyborg. Ooh, there we go. My bad. Cyborg. We're gonna tell you more about that in a second.
All right.
What do you got? Miss Moon?
I got Batman.
Batman. So, and then I have, hopefully, my favorite superhero is Wonder Woman. Yes! That was, oh my gosh. That was awesome. This is completely random. So I have Wonder Woman. So we all now have, in our possessions, a superhero and our deck of 10. Da-da-da! Dun-dun-dun-dun. All right. So, what does okay, I'll tell you what my superhero says. For each villain you buy or gain during your turn, draw an extra card at the end of your turn. The rule about this game is literally every single word written on this card is the rule. All right? What does yours say?
I get 1+ power for each equipment you play during your turn.
Batman. He's an equipment guy.
Makes sense. It's Batman.
Right?
That's what he does.
There you go.
Rich and equipment.
But I'm a cyborg, so I get +1 power if I play 1 or more equipment during my turn. And if I do, I get to draw a card.
Ta-da! All right. So, all of this probably means nothing to you because you have no clue what's going on. But those are the perks that we get for our hand. So I'm going to show you what a card means. So, this is Superman's vulnerability. So it tells you exactly what the card is named, which is vulnerability. And then it normally has a color code to go with it. And then it tells you what type of card it is. And this card is a starter. It tells you how many victory points it is. That's what the star means. And it tells you how much this is worth. This is worth 0. This has 0 victory points. It is a starter card, and the name of the card is vulnerability. To give you another example of how this works, this is another card. So this is a super strength. The type of card is super power. It is worth 3 victory points, and it costs 7. Got it? All right. So the way this works is you accumulate power because you're a superhero. So you accumulate power in order to buy cards to thicken your deck. That makes sense. Thickening sounds good to you?
Sounds good.
Thickening is always good.
Oh, so good.
Thickening. All right. So you have your deck, which is normally on your left. You have a deck. You have a deck. Deck. So we take our cards and we shuffle them, so we don't know what's happening. Shuffling, shuffling, and then we pick up 5 cards. How many cards?
5.
10, right? Oh, sorry, 5.
Don't confuse them. Turtle's not playing.
Okay.
So everyone picks up 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you play a 5-card hand every time. They don't need to know you and I have a secret bond. This is my hand right now. So as you can see, I have a punch. That's a starter that's worth 0 victory points and costs 0. But the fun part about this entire game is the white space. In the white space, you see +1 power. So you have to accumulate power, right? That's a +1 power. That's a +1 power, so that's 2 power. That's 3 power. That's 4 power, and this is nothing. So how many powers do I have? 4. So I have 4 powers. I don't know what these girls have, but I have 4 powers in my 5-card hand. So the way this works is you put out 5 cards from the main deck. This card is a superpower, and it costs 7. So obviously I can't afford this. This card is also a superpower, and it costs 5. Still can't afford this. This card is a hero, and it costs 3. I can buy that. Sweet. This card is an equipment, which Batman wants, and it costs 4. And this card is another equipment, which Batman wants, and it costs 3. So that all these 5 cards are considered the lineup. So you know that I have 4 power. So that means that I can spend my power, like money, to buy a card to put into my deck. Because these ladies are so kind. I'm going to go first, actually. Sweet. So we all know that I have 4 power, a punch, a punch, a punch, a punch, and a vulnerability. So that equals 4. So now I take all of my money / cards that I spent, and I put them in my discard pile. Look, deck, hand, discard pile. Deck, hand, discard pile. There we go. So I spent 4. So I have 4 powers to spend. This is worth 3, and this is worth 4. I'm going to spend all of my money and buy a 4, because once you spend your money, no matter if it's the exact amount or lower, it's gone. So if I were to spend a 3, it's still gone. Discard pile is the end of those 5 cards. Ta-da! So I took that awesome card that I bought, I put it in my discard pile, and then I pick up 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the end of my turn. Now it's her turn. But she deserves the same opportunity as I do, right?
Of course.
'Cause
Absolutely.
her tits are actually bigger, but, you know. Anyhow, so
You can't tell on this shirt.
so I put down a new card from the main deck, and this card is worth 5, and it's an equipment. So it is now her turn, and she gets to pick a card according to how much power she's accumulated. Can you please tell everyone, Miss Moon, how much power you got?
I got 4 punches.
Which is 1, 2, 3, 4 power.
And I'm going to go ahead and buy some equipment because I get good things when I have equipment.
Right, so she's going to buy this card because it's +3. So what happens to your extra power?
It's gone,
It
sadly.
goes very far, far away. Done.
And
So-
I pick up my 5.
So she's got a brand new 5. She's a discard pile. Ta-da! So now it is Kame's turn. But there's only 4 cards. Do you
So-
deserve the same opportunity as Miss Moon?
Of course.
So then obviously you take a card from the main deck and you put it in the lineup. This is an equipment called Bow Staff worth 3.
Very good.
Miss Kame, tell us how much power you've got.
So, I have 4 power. I have a punch, punch 2, punch 3, punch 4, and oh no, a vulnerability. But you know what? We all have that, so who cares?
Kryptonite.
You
It's a
know.
mess. So
So,
she's taking all those cards and putting them in her discard pile.
and you know what? My options are kind of limited here. I can only buy a hero card, which is the blue card, or an equipment card, which is the gray card. I'm kind of torn here, but
But wait, what's your hero?
my hero is Cyborg. He likes equipment and superpowers. So, of course, I have to go for the equipment. And I'm going to take this and put it in my discard pile.
Awesome. So now you know how to buy cards. But why do we buy cards?
Well, obviously, we have to defeat the supervillains.
Correct. So, the reason why we buy cards is because all these cards, besides these ones that do nothing, do something cool. Example, the card that I bought, which is called Green Arrow, has a perk. And the perk says that supervillains cost you 2 less than what's stated. So that means that when I want to kill something, I get like -2 on how much they cost. That's a perk. What did you buy?
I got NTH Metal and its equipment card.
He's an equipment card, and he says that look at the top card of your deck, and if you want, you can destroy it. What did you buy?
I had to go for the bow staff.
Bow Staff says +3 power. That means she gets 3 power instantly on this card. If there are 1 or more villains in the lineup, you either win or lose with this one. So
Just a wee bit.
that's the reason why we buy cards, because each card comes with a perk. The reason why we're playing this game to start off with, we're heroes, right? So what do heroes defeat?
Villains!
Right, and when we set up the entire game, I showed you the deck of supervillains. So you have 7 unknown supervillains, and the only one you know is the face-up one, and this is Ra Al Ghul. So this is Ra Al Ghul. This is the #1 guy we're going up against.
Dun dun dun!
See, it says supervillain right here, and he costs 8. So that means in one hand of 5 cards, our value of power has to equal 8 in order to conquer this guy. And he comes with his own perks and powers, obviously. Every card comes with perks. Just know that you want to come and conquer. So as villains, as heroes, I'm personally a villain in my own heart. But as heroes, our goal is to kill every single supervillain. Once this deck is gone, the game is over. If you can't conquer because you suck at it, and you just like to play for, longevity, once this deck is gone, the game is over. So, what you ultimately want to do when you're buying the cards that you're buying is to accumulate that gold star. Victory points! We like victory points. So the card that I bought is worth 1 victory point. But if I can afford to buy something that's more expensive, it's going to be worth more victory points. That's a 2 victory point. So the ultimate point of this game and how you win is to accumulate the most victory points. Because we're all heroes. We're all doing the same thing, but whoever does it better actually wins.
Dun, da, da, da.
We like winning.
That's the main point of playing DC Comics. There will be a follow-up video on this weird rules and how to like transfer your discard pile into your deck and how to keep your lineup going. So stay tuned and you're welcome. Oh, Turtle says bye. So the girls.
Bye.
See you, everybody. Have fun.